All right, we are fresh off of UFC Macau. Started at 3 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast, 2 o'clock over here for me. But for whatever reason, I work third shift, so I was up and able to watch the whole thing.
Oh, look at you, bro!
Yeah,
You got it easy peasy. You got like
no, I mean for
European,
this
bro.
time, I usually can never watch the cards. I got lucky this time. But you slept through. Thankfully, you had a good night's sleep.
I
Caught the
guess
tail
I don't
end.
know. I was hyped for some of the prelim fights. I really wanted to see the Mata fight. I didn't catch any of that. I didn't catch any of the reviews or anything. I saw the highlight KO of Ming. I believe that's her name.
Yeah,
uh,
Ming Shi Ming, who's a
mhm,
doctor. She's a medical doctor at home, and her parents don't know that she's a fighter. They think she's like breaking wood blocks somewhere. And she was
bro.
like, "You can tell everybody that I'm a fighter. Nobody that knows them will see this." Like, and then she
They're
comes
gonna
in
see it now.
and then she knocks that girl out, and she says in the post fight, she's like, "I've been too like generous with my opponents, or too like." She's like, "I've been taking it easy. Good luck to my next opponent." Like
Bro,
this is her post fight speech. Good luck to
that's
my next
crazy.
opponent.
She made that girl stiff and then followed up with like three
Yeah,
nasty shots. Yo, getting like stretchered off out of the cage. I've only
yeah,
seen that maybe like 5 times. Like
yeah.
truly like 5 times. One of those was Conor McGregor when he broke his leg.
Mm-hmm.
Like Sean O'Malley, well, I mean Sean O'Malley, whatever. I
Yeah.
can't name the other two, but like that girl was dead for a second. I was like, oh my God.
The
So
commentary,
whoever
like
was
lead right up to that knockout, they were like, "We need an atom weight division." They're saying she's too small, and
they
then she
do.
knocks her out like that. It was
They
beautiful.
do. Yeah, the UFC has a 45 division for no reason at all.
Yeah.
There's plenty of atom weights out there. Laura
Mm-hmm.
Sanko would be an atom weight if
Yes.
she ever fought. Like there's so much talent that it's really frustrating that they don't allocate the resources there because those would be really bomb fucking fights.
Oh yeah.
It would be
Definitely.
insane. But yeah, so saw that highlight, and then some of my bets missed because Carl Zolberg and Ozdemir decided to not bang it out. I heard it was a
Yeah.
good fight, but it went to decision. So
No,
either
it
way,
was a
I was still
decent
losing.
fight. Decent fight. I thought as I'm watching it, I'm like, Carlos is definitely he was having more success in the stand up, but he was in some tricky moments. Ozdemir was able to land some hooks on him where I'm like, dude, if Alex Pereira landed these hooks right here in these moments, this fight would have been done a long time ago. Like
Yeah,
that was my takeaway is that if Pereira is able to land as often as Ozdemir was, it's not gonna be a good night for Carlos Solberg. But he still looked good.
yeah. I mean, Oldberg was the younger guy going into it. Ozdemir has a little bit of wear on his tires, so I had it either Ozdemir via KO, Oldberg via KO. This was an excellent test for Oldberg, just
Mm-hmm.
seeing him actually go in there, go to a decision against an established dude that has fought champions and won. So good. Hats off to Oldberg. I still think he's too damn handsome to do anything good in the UFC. I need him to die somehow.
Yeah.
But this is a good shot, and I look forward to watching the fight back to see how he did. Just because, like you said, like a lot of these other dudes, they're gonna land a hook on you, and it's not gonna be as easy as Ozdemir.
Yeah.
They're gonna be
Oh, that
facing a lot of
wasn't.
tougher
I don't think
competition.
this was an easy fight for him.
Hmm.
Ozdemir looked pretty good in there, but Carlos was just edging it out, and it got to the point where you could see Vulcan getting pretty frustrated. Then he started just looping punches because Olberg was just too slick, just moving too much. And yeah, but it was. I would like to see Olberg in there with Khalil Roundtree next. I'd like to see that fight,
I like
but
to see that. I like to see Anthony Smith, or he's has a fight next, right?
I think
Anthony
Smith
Smith
is
against
fighting. Yeah, he's got a fight booked. I'm not sure against who.
the winner or loser of that, depending on how that fight goes. I'd love to see Oldberg fight that dude. He still needs more ring time. He needs more. Again, I don't know how he looked like against Ozdemir, but if it was a close fight, if it was a barely edging out Ozdemir, you still need a little bit of work, especially when you get to the top tier. I mean, you're talking about Jan Blachowicz, Alex Figueiredo, Magomed Ankalaev, Rakic. That's kind of, the upper crust. You're not going to be breaking that if you're going to a decision against Ozdemir. Hulk, maybe. Ankalaev, or not Ankalaev.
Kutalaba?
Yeah, Kutalaba. That'd be a fun fight. I mean,
it'd be
fighting down, especially coming off a win over Ozdemir, but I mean, you still need time. You still need to, foster something. I don't know. Like he's still a little green to me.
No, he's still very green. Like, but I would say,
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, in regards to MMA, I think Alex Pereira is still fairly green, and he's able to find the success. So, if Oberg can get there, we'll see what happens. But
yeah. The fights I did see though, and I did end up winning something. It's been I've been getting fights right, just the decision's wrong, or the parlay is just slightly off, and then I'm like, damn, I'm out the money. But the last 3 I got right. The last 3 I got the decisions right. So I actually ended up pretty fucking green. Muslim Salikov going out there doing the thing to the boy at home.
Yeah.
40 years old. This dude is still coming out. The way he did that spinning kick, it's almost like he geared it to kind of fake him with a body. And then because he had the guard and he just moved it just ever so slightly. And it was fucking precision all day, right on the chin. I mean, Muslim Salikov is a problem at 40 years old, at 170. That is crazy. Again, this was against Song and, not the greatest of competition, but still, to be doing that to such a young opponent, especially when you're going into his territory.
Yeah, that crowd was going crazy for Song.
Yeah. Yeah, I think first round, like at the very end of the first round, very beginning of the second, I can't recall, but
first round.
Yeah, I mean, that's insane. That's insane. And he was piecing them up. He was doing work. He had already landed like maybe 12 leg kicks going into that, and that leg was turning into a balloon. I don't know. I can't say anything else. King of Kung Fu, thank you for that highlight.
I didn't see that coming, though. I definitely thought Song was going to get the job done. I felt like that win crushed a lot of parlays. Just that win alone. 40-year-old Muslim Salikov, does he have a title run in him? I don't think so. But
yeah, I don't think so. I just viewed it as Song being the lesser of the two. How I saw it was Muslim is just very good at striking. It maybe goes the distance. Keeps him at bay, just keeps him at the end of his jabs, at his kicks. He has really good spinning attacks. The judges give him that off of just spinning alone. That's how I kind of saw it. I didn't think it was going to be a first round KO via spinning heel kick. I did not see that coming. But
beautiful knockout.
Nice. Yeah, that was nice. Yeah, just nothing else to say about it. Oh my god, dude, congrats! 40 years old. 40 years old, doing it at 170. That's spectacular.
And he's all natural, right?
Right. Yeah.
40 years old, all natural. Knocking people out.
Yeah. Just the of at the end of the name, you got to put a ticket in for that. Just just a little. You got to sprinkle something.
Yeah, they're my favorite fighters, I'll say. And in the co-main event, though, we have Yan Xiaonan dominating Tabitha Ricci over 3 rounds. That's exactly what I predicted. I felt like Tabitha Ricci was gifted wins against Angela Hill and when she fought Tisha Torres or Tisha Pennington. I thought she was gifted those wins, and I thought she was going to get outclassed, and sure enough, it looked that way.
Yeah, I thought that depending on the version of Yan that shows up, if Tabitha can get to her early and get her down early, that would have been an issue. Now, one thing is Yanja now getting taken down early and getting subbed by, Zhang Wei Li.
Yeah.
Another thing completely is some up-and-comer taking down Yanja Nan that's been on a tear besides the Zhang Wei Li fight. And Yan going into this fight, I think she looked in the best physical condition.
Oh yeah, she looks huge.
I thought she looked huge and just absolutely ripped.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, to your point, I was just like, nah, Tabitha Ritchie was on the very close end. She should have kind of lost those. She got them, but this is a big step up in competition. This is a gatekeeper that's really only trying to fight for the title and is going to make an example out of you. And she did that. I mean, one round, it was like maybe 4 minutes. Jan landed 20 something punches and Tabitha had not even thrown one.
No,
I don't think. Yeah, one-way traffic the whole time. Tabitha just couldn't find the distance. Jan was just a little bit bigger, a little bit faster, a little bit more precise, and just all day long, just throwing the jab, throwing the hook, throwing whatever she wanted, and it would land. And Tabitha just didn't have a response. She was just like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, she's like the kicks to the head, the front kicks to the head. She's just pointing down to the octagon, like she's styling all over Tabitha Ritchie.
The body kicks. Yeah, to me, that's kind of what I saw whenever I was putting down the money. I was like, if I really had it, like the way I go into betting for a fight, I go like, this is the last $5 I have. What if I had to put money on this? What would I be putting on it? And then I was just like, honestly, like I don't see a path to victory for Tabitha other than a takedown, and I don't think she's gonna get it. And she didn't. It was just one of those like, yeah, you couldn't really resolve the reach issue. Yeah, I don't know.
There was one moment where Jan tripped and Tabitha jumped on her, but she wasn't able to do anything with that. Jan got right back up, and then she made her punish. She hit her with like a hook. It was like, dude, she can't do anything to Jan.
Yeah, there was no answer. Tabitha needs to do something though. Coming off of a close, I thought it was a loss to Pennington. Coming off to the close fight against Angela Hill, which I would give her that one, but like still, it was too close for comfort. You need to change something, especially with such a dominant loss to Yan Zhao. I mean, this was nothing but clear domination. One round was like almost 40 strikes to maybe 210, maybe something like that. It doesn't matter because she was just getting styled on the whole damn fight. Yeah, she needs to do something because it's only going to get harder if you're trying to be at the top.
But it's also like another thing that like Jan looks so much bigger than her that like they need another weight class, all right? Because dude, she was so tiny. It was like she couldn't even if she came forward, it didn't matter. What was coming back at her was just so damaging. Like Jan was just stepping in with these combinations, just all over her. And she was just so much bigger than her, like twice her size. Yeah. I think Tabitha is in the wrong weight class in the UFC.
Yeah, I think so. I think she had gotten away with it for such a long time. Because, again, the division, it's weird. You got those weird people that should be at Adam that are fighting and Straw. And up until that point, she had gotten off with her physicality because she is a pretty big girl. But, like, again, that upper crust, like, these are the people that have been doing it for such a long time that they've gotten that body. They've built and grown into that role. So when you finally get to somebody like a Yan Zhaonan who has a full package and is also big as shit, that's when you're going to start seeing like issues. And it was just very compounded where like you had no answer to anything that you got off on, just like that shot, like she's getting right back up and she's landing a couple on you just to teach you a lesson. So, yeah, for me, she's got to change something. If you're going to be a wrestler, like go to a wrestling camp, like go to AKA, go somewhere where they're only going to do wrestling. If that's going to be your path to victory for all these other girls and you think you can do that, like that's the easiest path, you got to change it up. You got to do something because, again, it's only going to get harder. And people are going to see this fight and be like, oh, okay, cool. Like, you don't know what to do here. Like, I'm just going to do this.
What do you think we do with Yan Zhaonan next? She's calling for a title fight, but we got Verna Jandiroba, who's making her claim saying she's next.
It's weird. It's weird because, in my opinion, you can't give Yan another fight against Zhang Weili. Not yet.
Not back to back.
The girl fucked you up twice in one fight. She knocked you out, and then she subbed the shit out of you. Like I still can't believe that fight happened. and it kept on going the way it went.
Yeah.
Like I remember watching it real time and being like, "What the fuck?" Like Jason Herzog is really gonna let this happen? This girl was dead. Like it's like lit. Like Anyway, I hate that it would have to be a fight against Virna and Jan, because I do feel that Virna has more entitlement to that shot.
Mm-hmm.
But I also wouldn't hate it if they fought against each other. The only issue I have with that is just that Zhang Weili just is running out of motherfuckers to fight.
Yeah.
She needs a little bit of new blood there. I'd love for Zhang Weili to like fight Virna and then possibly Jan come afterwards.
Mm.
But I don't know. I'm not in love with any kind of situation there. But that's kind of what it has to come down to, unless I can't recall anybody else in the division that's doing good.
I think Jan should fight. What's her name? Tatiana Suarez, if she's ever able to come back.
If she's ever able to, like, I just write her off. Like, I always see her like get back healthy, and then I'm like, dude, she's fucking female Khabib, right? She's gonna go out there and smash. Ankle injury, knee injury, like something got blown out, something got fucked up, and she's always on the back of my mind. But until she's actually able to string at least 2 fights together, she's unfortunately, in my mind, irrelevant. Like, I
think she's like the number 1 contender.
Really?
Somehow, yeah. Like,
I mean, she should be, just because I don't know.
With no activity,
MMA is weird, man. Like, no activity, like you have the wins, but then again, like you can't string them together. Something's always happening. I don't know. Time is running out for her too. Like she's getting up there in age. She's been out more than she's been active, and we're talking years. I mean, at least half a decade, maybe, of inactivity due to injuries that I can recall. Like, I don't know. Maybe her, yeah. I mean, Virna against Tatiana, or if Virna fights Zhang, maybe Tatiana against Jan. Maybe that works. But again, like if I'm the UFC, I'm not waiting for Tatiana to get healthy. I'm trying to get these girls active, especially because Zhang Weili hasn't fought since 300. Like,
yeah, that's weird. I wonder what's going on with that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was weird when somebody pointed out. I was like, shit, yeah, we haven't seen Zhang. But it's also like, who is she gonna fight? There's no clear contender, and like the only girl that's called her out besides Virna is Jan, and she destroyed Jan like so completely bad. There's the only other time I can recall something like that happening was Izzy versus Robert Whittaker, where he essentially finished him in the first and then definitely got the job done in the second. So there's no real call out that works there for me. But I mean, if it has to break down, Tatiana Suarez is healthy, maybe a title shot. Yeah, a preliminary between Virna and Tatiana to see who gets possibly smashed by Zhang Weili. Because, I mean, I love Tatiana when she fights, when she's healthy. Zhang Weili is a fucking problem.
I don't think
day of the week against anybody. And
I don't think Tatiana Suarez has the striking for anybody in the top like 5. I think she gets worked in the stand-up. She's got that wrestling. If she can take them down, I don't think she can hold Zhang Weili down. I think she's gonna get beat up in that fight. But
has Tatiana even fought a main event?
I don't think so.
That'd be another issue. Like, say she goes out there, tries to get the shot on Zhang Weili, she doesn't get it. It goes to championship rounds that Zhang Weili has dominated in before. It's gonna be a long night for Tatiana if she doesn't get it done. So
she has gassed in 3-round fights.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd love to see her healthy. I'd love to see her active.
Yeah.
Is it gonna happen? I don't know. I do not know. That's damn shame. That's one of those like what could have been, like Zabit, and then like her. Like what the fuck happened there, bro? I don't know.
Or Gregor Gillespie.
I tried getting an interview with him, and he was super cool. It was weird. I don't want to be like an asshole, but he was typing very strange, like all caps and like I don't know. It looked very, very off. And I know he had prior substance issues. But he was just like, nah, I'm not interested in talking to anybody anymore. Like I'm completely done. And this was maybe 6 months ago. So I'm hoping the best. I'm hoping that he just called it a day.
Yeah.
And is no longer just in it. But the texts were very weird.
That's crazy. Damn.
Yeah. So I'm hoping, you know, nothing bad of it. I'm hoping he's just a terrible typer, but
yeah,
I don't know.
hopefully.
Yeah, he seems like he's out. He's done. Damn. Done with the game.
That's
damn
crazy.
shame too.
Yeah, that sucks.
Cool. Gregor was cool. If you knew Gregor whenever he was about it, like Gregor was cool, but Kevin Lee did it to him, and then he did the place that he wanted, I guess. So he was like, later.
Damn, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. Well, so in the main event for UFC Macau, Petr Yan 50-45s Davison Figueiredo on all judges' scorecards. Is that how you scored the fight?
Yeah. I mean, you could have given him the fourth where he got the knockdown.
Yep,
but
that's why I gave him that round.
But then, like, I mean, I would have given. I wouldn't be mad if it was a 49-46 because of that. But he was just doing the work in that round to where it was just like it was the very, very last shot, and he was just doing work the whole entire round to Davison. Mm-hmm. There was no. I hate is the wrong word. I think it was a bit misguided to go for that takedown so hard in the first. I think that had he gotten a better result from it, like say he gets the takedown in the first and he keeps him down and he does a little bit more work, then I'm like, okay, cool. Like clearly something's here. I just feel like Aljamain Sterling showed the blueprint, but it's Aljamain fucking Sterling showing the blueprint. Like you have to be Aljamain to follow that, to do that to Yan. Mm-hmm. And Yan has been bit like that before against Merab. So is Davison Figueiredo like a D1 wrestler or this crazy dude from a mountain that's just going to shoot 50 times on you? I don't think so. Mm-hmm. He's a little bit older now, 36, and Petr Yan is 31. I feel like I've seen him for 10 years. Yeah. This dude is only 31 right now. But yeah, the first round, I thought it was great. The takedown, I thought it was just too much effort so early on.
He got the takedown, and then he didn't do anything on the ground. He didn't do any damage. Like I was like, what was the point of that?
Yeah, Petr was just kind of like, okay, cool. Like I'm just gonna just hit you upside the head. I'm gonna be more active. And then he got out of it. So it's just like, okay, cool. Like, are you gonna do it again? And then I forgot, maybe it was the second round with like that inside or outside trip where he just like slammed him down on the ground. Yeah. I was like, oh shit, bro. Like that slam was just so hard that I was like, maybe he like bounced his head off the canvas and maybe like discombobulates him a little bit because that was a hard slam. But yeah, Petr was just a little too quick. He just immediately recognized that the only plan that you have for me is to wrestle me. And if that's the case, like I'm doing my Petr Yan first round calculations, off to the races. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, cool. Like I'm going to start figuring you out. And he did that very quickly in the second round. And then whenever he started mixing in the uppercuts.
Oh,
that was game.
Murder for him with that.
Yeah, nothing anymore that you can do because he's got you downright. That's right. Nothing you can do.
By the third round, Yan had it completely figured out, and he was just like unloading on Figueiredo. It was crazy.
Yeah, unloading. I mean, again, Figueiredo, like in the fourth round, did land that big shot, and it did hurt him. And then he landed like a big body shot. Mm-hmm. Suki MMA was like talking a bit of shit about Laura Senka's commentary, where she was like, "It's anybody's fight in the fifth round," and I kind of agreed with that to a certain extent. It's like, yeah. Yan is clearly winning this, but we just saw that punch. Yeah. We just saw that damage. Like he was a little like, oh, okay, like I can't be too reckless with this dude. He is still here. So I kind of agreed with it. I was just like I get it. Like if this fight continues the way it's going, it's a Yan decision any day of the week. But Davison Figueiredo's got the hands. Like he'll put anybody to sleep. He knocked down Cheeto after Cheeto ate like 700 shots from Sean O'Malley, ate a devastating knee, didn't do anything to Cheeto, but Davison Figueiredo goes out there and gets a shot off. Yeah, that's how I saw the fight going. I thought Davison was going to be too tough to get finished. I didn't think he was going to offer up anything to Piotr that would be something dangerous besides the power. But, you know, if you're going to be hoping for one shot in 25 minutes, that's fine. But
he wasn't throwing. He wasn't throwing anything.
He wasn't throwing, and Piotr was always there first in any exchange, and he was throwing like combos at him. He was throwing 3 things, landing at least one, and he was throwing it first. So you couldn't get the beat on him. That's how I kind of saw it going. I was like, Piotr Jan is going to go to decision with him. I don't think he's going to get a finish. My boy had a Davison Figueiredo sub. So the first takedown, I was like, oh shit, he's going to ruin my parlay. But he's going to get the sub at like plus 1,200 money. But like, again, Rob couldn't finish him via sub. Aljamain couldn't finish him via sub. And he had back control for like 15 minutes in that fight, in the second fight. So I don't think it's going to happen quite like that. But yeah, Davison Figueiredo, though, 36 years old, coming off his first loss at bantamweight, I think. He is still a problem.
Oh, yeah.
I think this fight was a little bit misguided. And it's against, you know, the people's champ at bantamweight, in my opinion. But this is a tough hill to climb on when you have Merab at the top, Piotr Jan, who just 50-45, 49-46 to you convincingly, too. I mean, there was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You got a couple shots off that were nice, but that was it. And then it's bantamweight. It's bantamweight. It's just the Shark Tank of men that just just throw their bodies at you, and then they know what to do, and they just like knock you out in our cardio machines and just go 1,000 miles per hour. So at 36, past, you know, the age of 35, where nobody wins a championship round under the weight of 170, it's a tough hill to battle. Despite him being as good as he is, and despite this fight being so one-sided, I don't know what to do. Like, maybe, like, you already have a win over Rob Font. That's the only other fight I would like to see.
Figueiredo, well, no, he trains with Cejudo. So, but he didn't train with Cejudo for this fight. Cejudo is sometimes in his corner, but Cejudo's at 7. Song Yadong at 8. I would like to see Figueiredo fight Corey Sandhagen. I think that would be a pretty interesting fight.
That'd be dope. For Corey, I only want Sean O'Malley because it's never going to happen.
This is the perfect time.
Unless you like do it right, it's never going to happen. And that's the only fight that I want for Corey.
You think he wins?
Yeah. I don't know. Like, to your point with the Merab versus Sean O'Malley, I knew that Merab was very, very good. I just thought that Sean was a bit faster. I thought he was going to just beat him to the shot and defend it a little bit more. And then, you know, you stuff like 10 of those and you get off shots that he was getting off sometimes. Like, that fight plays, but he was just slower. He was just off. Like, to me, Sean O'Malley wasn't 100% in that fight. I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying, like, that's not the Sean O'Malley that I thought was going to be in that fight. I don't know. Like, Corey Sandhagen, too, to that point, I think Corey Sandhagen's fight IQ and his striking discipline is so good. Like, I thought he was going to be a little bit more established against
Umar.
Yeah. And then it didn't go that way. It went Umar's way. So in those senses, like, I would love to say that Corey can, but it also depends on the dance partner that you're getting in the ring at the time. And like, after the fact, Sean O'Malley was saying that he had some kind of injury or whatever, and he needed to get surgery. Who knows the truth to that? Who knows the extent, if it is true, of the damage of that injury? Coming into it, if he's healthy, if he's like the Sean O'Malley that I picture in my head, the one that showed up against like Cheeto, the one that showed up against like, all the dudes, just fast, vicious, precise. I think it's a Sean O'Malley fight. But Corey Sandhagen has the tools. I feel like Sean O'Malley, in my mind's eye, is almost like a TJ Dillashaw in terms of striking. Very various attacks, very quick, can switch his stance and throw something weird at you that you didn't see coming. But his wrestling is, the Merab fight tested it and he failed. But that's Merab. People aren't going to be shooting at you 35, 40 times in a fight like that. Can Corey do that? I don't know. But Corey's fought Sandhagen, or Corey's fought
Jan,
and he's TJ Dillashaw. Like, I see that fight going a little bit like that. Like,
I thought
depending
Corey
on
won that fight. I scored it for Corey.
Won that fight. I had it close. I see the arguments for Corey. Like, I get that. I saw
he destroyed this man's shoulder. Like,
yeah, if you look at it, if you take a picture and you see the fighters at the end of the fight, you go, TJ lost. He lost like fuck. But that's not the way the fights are scored. It's scored round by round. And some of those rounds were closer. And some of those rounds, unfortunately, like TJ had control. There was nothing else. And any kind of striking damage or whatever, it was very tight off. So control ends up going to one person in a round. I think I ended up barely edging TJ at it, but I wasn't mad about any kind of like Corey won, cool, like whatever. Like, but I just thought that the arguments for it being so convincing, I was like, I don't know about that, dude. It was a close fight.
Yeah, it was close fight.
Somebody got beat up in it, but that's not. I wish there was a different scoring mechanism. I wish there was more judges. I wish it was more like gymnastics where you have like 5 judges and the guy that scores it the highest for each opponent, both of those get dropped off. And then the remaining judges, those judges' scores are the ones that count. Oh. So say, for example, you have 5 people. One person is like sucking Corey's dick. Another person is sucking Sean's dick. Get rid of those. Yeah. And then the remaining 3 are going to be the mean, the average score. Like, it would end up with a lot more draws, but there needs to be more draws. There shouldn't be like one draw every, 5 cards or maybe 10 cards. There should be more. Some fights are stupid close like that, especially with, we're going off of a boxing scheme where there's 10 to 12 rounds and it's a 10-9 must system. Some of these rounds are 10-7s. Like, yeah, it's crazy to think that, but some of these rounds are 10-7s. The scoring is, it's 10-9 if it's close. If you know somebody won a round, it should be a 10-8. It should be a 10. It's not a close round. It's a 10-8. 10-8s in, like, for example, like my brother wants to see somebody almost die for a 10-8. Like, I get that. I understand that. But that's not how it's written. How it's written is, if you know there's a winner, it's a 10-8. If it's a close fight, 10-9. So anything where somebody's dying, a 10-7. Like, that's warranted. Definitely. It makes it more of a disparity. It makes it clear. I mean, will we get there? No, I don't think so. I think it'll be like he has an eyeball falling out of his head. That's a 10-8. Like, that's where we're at with it. Will it change? I don't know. But yeah,
so who do you think? Who do you think gets the next title shot? Is it Jan or Umar Nurmagomedov?
I don't know. I don't put anything past the UFC. We've already seen the Piotr fight as well.
Yeah, I don't know why he's calling for that fight.
Yeah.
He did 50-45.
I mean,
50-44.
From his perspective, I'm always going to be shooting my shot at the title, right? Shooter's going to shoot. You miss, you miss. But if you don't take that shot, you're never going to get it. So I get that. But you did get 50-45. And it was what you did to Davison is what Merab did to you. One-way traffic. No response, no answer, and it's gonna happen again.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna happen again if it happens right now. It's gonna happen again.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love for one more fight for Piotr. Unfortunately, maybe
O'Malley.
because O'Malley, the rematch with O'Malley would be dope. Again, like say O'Malley, like I scored it for O'Malley. Again, I see how people scored it for Piotr. But if he gets a win like that again, then you're done for a little bit. Like you're gonna have to cook 2 fights to get back in that picture against. I mean, he's beat most of the people. He beat Corey Sandhagen. He beat Song Yadong. He would be left with Umar. If Umar somehow gets the title shot, then you get that. But
did he fight Henry? I'd watch Henry versus Peter.
I'd watch Henry versus Peter. I kind of want Henry to go down to fly.
Yeah, he's talking about it.
I know he's a bit thick, and I know he doesn't want to do it because, again, he's thick, and going down to fly is tough. I think he'd have more success there.
No, he said he wants to go back down to flyweight. That's his plan. He wants to fight
cool.
Pantoja.
Yeah, if he fights Pantoja at flyweight, that'd be cool. If Pantoja's still there after Kai. Yeah, I don't know. It sucks to be Piotr Jan coming off of a dominant win and possibly having to sit out for a little bit. Because, like, again, to your point, like, you fight the loser maybe of Umar and Corey, or you get a rematch with Sean O'Malley. If I don't know, it's tough. It's a weird picture at bantamweight, especially because it's so just packed. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see a path where you don't fight again, and you're gonna be fighting again. Either like Henry Cejudo if he stays at 135, or
I think O'Malley. I think O'Malley kind of lines up perfect with his surgery that just happened.
Yeah. I mean, if Corey's already like gonna fight Umar, then that's the fight to make.
Well, Corey or who's gonna fight Umar?
There was talks about him and Corey Sandhagen
again.
Yeah, from my head seeing again. But we'll see. Like, if that fight doesn't happen, I mean, it could very well. I mean, these were just like rumors. These were not even, high level rumors. These were just people throwing stuff out. But if that fight happens, say Umar, Corey, they fight, they pick the winner. I mean, Merab was like, hey, like, Davison Figueiredo is the dude that I want to fight. It's a fresh face. Maybe you give Merab another swing at Piotr, but it's a very dangerous game for Piotr because if you get outclassed by Merab again, it's no longer a 2 fights. It's like, I'm never going to be champ. Maybe I retire here. Like, what am I going to do? Just keep on fighting these dudes for no reason? Like, the only reason I'm doing this, at least from Piotr's perspective, is to get the belt back. And being in a perpetual loop of fighting like Cheeto Vera, Corey Sandhagen, like all these monsters at bantamweight for really no reason.
Not Cheeto.
Yeah.
Cheeto ain't no monster.
He ain't no monster. He ain't no I love him. I love him. He ain't no monster. He's a punching bag. He's a glorified punching bag. And it's weird, man. He used to be like, remember when he got that head and arm choke? Somebody missed a shot and he just like wrapped up a head and arm choke, like dragged it. It was like an alligator getting a deer at the lake, just like holding on and just like grabbing and just like, where the fuck did that go? Like, I don't know. I love Cheeto. He's a glorified punching bag. That every now and then is gonna punch you back once. Yeah, that's what's gonna end up happening to you if you end up getting the Merab fight and it ends up happening how it happened before. Like, I just love time for Piotr to formulate something where that first round you can't use it as a throwaway round for calculation. You can't. Not against Merab. You know what's going to happen. So study that film, do your calculations before, use your Piotr Jan mind, process that shit. Going into that first round is the beginning of what you need to be doing, because
definitely
if you do that shit again, it's just going to be the same thing. And then you're fucked. You're fucked for a long, long time. That might be it.
Oh, yeah. So I think we've touched on it all here. Any last things you want to say about this card? Any shout outs?
For all the people, all the Europeans that get up and do this shit every week, I cannot empathize with you enough. Ash knows this. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Every damn week you're here, bro. Yeah, you guys, bow down to you. You're the real fans. Yeah, they got a show, man. They got somebody stiff on the canvas getting some shots like Jorge Masvidal and Ben Askren. That's about as good as it gets. That's about as good as it gets. Everybody starched, just like reaching for the stars. That's about as good as it gets. Yeah. So they got that. They got high level MMA with Davidson Figueiredo and Piotr Jan. They got a new contender for Zhang Weili possibly, and then Muslim Salikov with that. I mean, that it was such a perfect kick. Like in slow motion, I'm like, damn, that was even prettier. Just seeing what he was doing with like, and he's 40 fucking years old. So anybody that stayed up or got up early for UFC Macau, good on you. You were treated to something. 2 cards left for the end of the year. Can't wait. Banger of fights. But yeah, UFC Macau delivered, in my opinion. I didn't get up early enough, but from what I saw, it was fun fucking night of fights.
I haven't been to bed yet. That's coming soon, but as soon as we're done here. But yeah, it was a great card. Great card from start to finish, I felt like. Definitely worth being up this whole time. But especially if you want to go check out any fights, the Kavanaugh Ochoa fight, that was a sick fight. Really sick fight, high level.
I had a 7-leg parlay. Wang.
The Kong Wang.
That bitch. She ruined it. I was like, there's no way she's gonna lose. And she ends up getting subbed. But
she got dropped with the head kick, then got subbed, clubbed and subbed. Well, the head kick dropped her at first, and then she tried to get back up, and then she got dropped again. And then Gabriella wrapped her up, tucked her back. And that's when Sanko was like, this is MMA. And then she choked her out. She choked her like unconscious. The ref had to come and pull her off her. So flattened her out, tucked the back, choked her out, rear naked choke.
I'm glad. If I'm gonna lose a parlay, I need it to be a finish. I need like, you to be punished. Like if you're gonna cost me money, I need you to be punished. So in your opinion, if from what I'm hearing, if she's getting caught by a head, is Wang mid?
A little overrated. I mean, but
super overrated. I mean, I was like, there's no way she's gonna. I mean, that 45-second knockout, I was just like, okay, cool. Like, this is dope.
Is she the person who beat
Valentina? Yeah.
Interesting. Beat Valentina Shevchenko in her second kickboxing fight, is what it says here. That's crazy. Insane. Yeah. And then she just got beat up. It is what it is.
I don't know who.
By no one, right? No one knew this. Gabriela Fernandez. Let's say her name. Shout out to Gabriela Fernandez. Nickname Gabby.
Yeah, what I'm gonna do next year is I'm just gonna like have like $100, and I'm just gonna put like 50 cents on each women's MMA dog.
Yeah.
Just to see, because betting on women's MMA,
it's crazy.
It's the stupidest fucking thing. It makes no damn sense. If you got any half of a mind, don't do it. Don't do it. If you're a degenerate, though, I'm going to let you know that I'm going to bet every single dog next year just to see if I end up breaking even, because at the odds that she was at minus 900. There was a girl in Dana White's Contender Series earlier this year that was minus 1,200, got a first-round KO. At these odds that are given, betting on a dog, all these fights are essentially 50-50 no matter what.
It says she was Fernandez was plus 625
going into it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like you're making your money back plus some, even if you lose. Even if I bet one time on her, I could lose the next 5 bets and still be up money. So like At the end of the that's what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna
bet underdog in women's MMA.
Every single women's MMA fight next year, underdogs only, and I'll put the data up to show everybody what's up.
Let's do it.
Honestly, thinking about it now, I'm like, damn, actually,
that's smart.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Shit, I only gotta hit one.
Hell yeah. Well, I think that's all the time we got for today.
Sounds good, man.
Thank you so much, GG MMA, for coming on today.
Thank you for
Half
having
Kick
me,
Sports. It's your boy Jermaine Event. We will see you guys soon.
Later.